Kingdom Hearts, Believers of Equestria, Episode 1, The Return of the Storm King Part 1, Act 3, Part 2. The true believers and Patrick looked out the window and saw two giant statues that resembles Princess Celestia and Princess Luna. There was a sign on top. Charlie was reading it. Charlie McAvoy said, Equestria, a land where friendship lasts forever. Robert McDonald said, These two statues look like Celestia and Luna. Kevin Daly said, Look! A portal magically appeared between the two statues. As the ship went through, the inside and outside turned into animation. The true believers and Patrick turned into animation as well. Charlie looked at his hands. Charlie McAvoy said, What the heck? What's happened? What's happened to us? Robert McDonald said, I don't know, but I feel sweet and warm and fuzzy. When we went through the portal, we must have turned to cartoons. Kevin Daly said, Cartoons? Like Looney Tunes? Robert McDonald said, No, not like Looney Tunes. My Little Pony. Kevin Daly said, Okay, now I'm starting to worry about you. Robin groaned. Then the boys heard a familiar voice. Matthew O'Connell said, Charlie, come to the entertainment deck. It's time for our unfinished business. Charlie McAvoy said, That voice sounds familiar. Then a dark creature appeared from the floor and jumped and grabbed Patrick from the back. Patrick Waters said, Get that thing off of me! Charlie and Robin grabbed the creature off. Charlie and Robin grabbed the creature of Patrick and threw it at the wall. Patrick panicked. Patrick Waters said, What is that thing? Robin looked at it and recognized it. Robin McDonald said, It's a shadow, the very first Heartless from Kingdom Hearts. Patrick Waters said, What do they do? Charlie McAvoy said, They take people's hearts and make more heartless. Kevin Daly said, Let's get out of here. The true believers and Patrick fled the bridge. The true believers and Patrick fled the bridge. The shadows appeared from the walls. Were after them. The boys went downstairs through the galley. Then they found a door. They found a door, opened it, and closed it behind them before the shadows came closer. The boys were almost out of breath. Then they saw hundreds of shadows in the entertainment deck. Then Charlie spotted Matthew on stage. Charlie ran up to him. Charlie McAvoy said, Matthew, is that you? What are you doing here? Matthew O'Connor said, Not happy to see me? Let me know when I'm getting in the way. You know, something that's really important. Patrick Waters said, Who is that? Robert McDonald said, Matthew O'Connor, our best friend and Charlie's old friend. Charlie McAvoy said, Matthew, I was going to see you again, but I've been very busy. I missed you. Matthew scoffed. Matthew O'Connell said, Spare the excuses. I bet you never cared about me. Charlie McAvoy said, Are you crazy? Of course I do. I wasn't ready to be your friend. Matthew O'Connell said, Exactly. You were never ready. You were just too busy competing your dreams and going to your precious mommy. Charlie McAvoy said, What? How did you know that? Matthew O'Connell said, Robert and Kevin told me, and they are too ashamed to tell you. Do you really think your mom would take you back by writing a stupid script? To tell you the truth, your mom only kicked you out because of me. Charlie McAvoy said, Huh? Why? Matthew O'Connell said, You should ask yourself why your mom kicked you out of a house. Why your mom kicked you out. Why your mom doesn't want you to be a bully. Ask yourself that, and you know. Charlie looked sad. Charlie McAvoy said, Did I do something? Is this about us? Matthew O'Connell said, We're done, Charlie. We are never meant to be friends. I already found someone who accepts me for who I am, and I agreed to help, and I agreed to help him regain his power and rule the land of Equestria. Behold the ruler of the south of Equestria, the Storm King! The curtains pulled open and the Storm King appeared. The shadows cheered to their king. The Storm King said, I'm not going to sing, am I, Matthew? Matthew Connell said, Of course not, Your Highness. The Storm King said, Your Highness, that sounds good. The true believers and Patrick felt surprised. Charlie, Robin, and Kevin said, The Storm King! In unison, The Storm King! Patrick Waters said, He's real. The Storm King looked at Charlie. The Storm King said, Ah, you must be Charlie McAvoy. Matthew told me all about you. Charlie McAvoy said, Why are you here? The Storm King said, About 2 years ago, Tempest's shadow turned me into stone and destroyed me. Then she dumped all of my pieces into the sea. But last night, my commander Matthew here found me on the beach and put me back together. We stole the ship and we are in Equestria. And all humans on the ship were just heartless in disguise, like changelings. Kevin Teddy said, Then why does the map from the bridge show the coordinates to the Bermuda Triangle? Matthew Connor said, If I may, sir. That's because the Bermuda Triangle is not about boats and planes go missing. The Bermuda Triangle is a hidden place for Equestria. That's why we're all cartoon-like the Page Master. Robin McDonald said, Oh, I love that film! The Storm King said, Well, guess what? You'll never get to see it. No, you will never get to see it. It is time for you humans to face the darkness. Get him, my Heartless! The shadow took a long leap and surrounded the true believers and Patrick. The next video will be Act 4, the last act of the episode. Might be part 1 or part 2, but we don't know for sure. Well, I don't know for sure. I'm gonna make another video. See you next video, I mean. And remember, believing is powerful and autism is a gift. Bye!